We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob, and you're listening to episode number 295. And as always, we thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with us. We know that you have a lot of options with how to spend your time, so it's important to us that you're here.
We definitely appreciate it. If you're listening on Facebook, if you're writing comments, Mr. Jeb Stewart, just know, good morning, that we will get to all of your comments at the end of the recording of the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast on Stitcher, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts, like Overcast, do know that we do live stream certain days of the week on Facebook. So if you're at the office and the day-to-day life is killing you inside the cubicle, you can listen to our sweet voices in hopes that one day you'll live your dream.
That's right.
So anyway, guys, I hope to bring you some awesome information today. Special thanks to Go Professional Cases, who's been sending us awesome cases. We just got the Inspire backpack in. Very, very excited about that. And if you haven't checked out the GPC Osmo case review, check that out. But I think it's about time that we get into today's question, Rob.
Let's jump right in.
People want to know, how can I use my Phantom 3 Pro like a Phantom 4?
Especially those folks that have recently purchased their Phantom 3 Pro.
And it seems like people, the recent guys, are all after the autonomous features, whereas I think more advanced or sophisticated pilots are saying, hey, these autonomous features are really cool, but man, I can get much better shots. I can get much more better framing on my own.
Right.
And we're not going to talk about, whether you're the pro pilot and you're like, hey, I mastered flight already, I don't need these autonomous features. We're just going to kind of delve right into, you've heard what's coming out with the Phantom 4. How can you get those same features on the Phantom 3? How can you make it legit? Today's question is brought to you by Legal Flyer. If you are a commercial pilot and you are flying drones for money, it is mandatory that you have a property release. So use Legal Flyer to not carry around a bunch of documents and just get signatures where you need them and print them out and share them via PDF.
Handy dandy little flyer for sure.
Let's get into today's question. Are you a drone pilot? Are you operating under a Section 333 exemption? Then you may be familiar with Item 27, which requires you to get a property release for every flight over property.
Legal Flyer is an app for iPhone and iPad that helps you create professional property releases in less time than it takes to do a pre-flight check.
You can add your pilot info, you can sign it, hand it to the property owner for their signature. But wait a second. Legal Flyer's advanced integration automatically adds latitude, longitude, and even altitude.
Then add a panorama straight from the app. Everything drops into a single-page PDF you can share with a single tap. It's compliance at light speed. Visit LegalFlyer.com for more information or get it straight from the App Store. Legal Flyer. Property releases for professional drone pilots.
Well, hello there, Drone U. What's happening, my brother? Hey, look here, man. I'm doing some investigation on trying to enhance my flight skills, and I found this application called the Litchi, or Litchi. I don't know how you say it, but I just want to know what your input is. What's the upsides and what's the downsides? Will I be missing out on the features I appreciate inside the DJI Go app, like flight logs, video editing, etc., etc.? You let me know. Let us know. The community, I'm sure, is curious, because this Phantom 4 has got some features that I think we can get through applications for our Phantom 3s and Inspires. Let us know. Looking forward to hearing your feedback.
Do you see the comment on Facebook there?
No.
Justin Woodcock, he owns the drone store in Nevada.
Right.
Did you just wake up? Yes. Yes.
That was a very astute observation.
He knows me too
it's
well.
It's nothing new for us.
He's actually a fellow New Mexican. He's from here, believe it or not.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, where is he now? Vegas?
He is in Reno.
Reno.
He's in Reno.
Okay, I thought it was Nevada.
Capturing the drone market.
Because we had him on one of our sub 100 podcasts, right?
Yeah.
A long time ago, talking about his trip.
Yep. I want to mimic his store though, because he's got an indoor flying area that goes outside and it transitions through. It's awesome.
Very cool.
So we may have to go visit him in Reno. Trip, We're in. All right.
Road trip.
Okay, let's do it. So let's talk about the features of the Phantom 4. Why are people so excited about this? Well, the Phantom 4, one feature that you're not going to get in any app is obstacle avoidance. So understand that the new DJI Go app, which is still in beta, if you bought the Phantom 4, you are downloading a different application than what you're using now for your Phantom 3 or Inspire 1. But the Phantom 4 offers these great features in conjunction with obstacle avoidance. Now, we haven't had the ability to test the obstacle avoidance, but we are going to test the limitations of obstacle avoidance. We're going to crash that Phantom 4.
So, Paul's really looking forward to crashing a Phantom 4. So, for example, one of the questions that comes to mind that's probably an obvious one is, how fast can you be going and have that work?
Well, that is a great question because the Matrice 100, it was only about 10 miles per hour, which is limited by its ability to compute the information.
Right.
So that's a very interesting thing. It's the same question that I asked Intel with the Intel RealSense, and they would not give me an answer. They dodged that question every possible way that you could dodge the question.
Well, and the reason it's being dodged is because the answer is not very fast, right? I mean, and that's just because I think it's young technology and it's really cool. But as it progresses and gets more sophisticated, and for example, if you could be flying at 35 miles an hour and have that happen.
Well, you could think about the
Wow.
types of things that you want to be able to film. Like if, on the Phantom 4, we can draw this little box and the Phantom 4 is going to follow and frame, which is just what the Litchi app does, the subject at hand. But again, you're limited to 10 miles an hour. So if you want to film biking, if you want to film, maybe kayaking and some jogging, I think you would get away with it.
Sure.
But if you move into the higher speed stuff, we're talking about longboarding. We're talking about surfing moves faster than 10 miles an hour,
Sure. Or the other thing that comes to mind is not only how fast can you be going, but what is the response time? So what it makes me think about, Paul, is the video where the jet ski takes out the Inspire. Could obstacle of avoidance have caused that Inspire to react and get out of the way?
I think
That'd
we're going to
be
have
cool.
to test that.
That'd be
So,
really... Oh, no.
John, get the jet skis.
That's right.
We're going to Cochise Lake.
Very cool. I don't know where we're going to get those waves, but...
We're going to need a Centurion boat to make those
All right.
waves, and then we'll just ramp them with the jet ski. So let's talk about, the Litchi app is going to allow you to get some of the same features that you would get with a new Phantom 4. What are some of these features? Well, one of the cool features that I really like, I know we're getting those comments in there, Rob. I'm sure you're
He
reading
says
them.
he's still in bed. Sorry, Justin.
Thanks for being honest, Justin.
That's right.
Really appreciate it. One of the cool things that I like about the Litchi app, and I think this is only for the Android version, not the Apple version, is the fact that you've got the optional VR mode.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you're tracking a subject. This is something that the Phantom 4 cannot do. So you would make your Phantom 3 have a feature that your Phantom 4 could not do, which is if you had the VR goggles on and you were using the Litchi app, you could literally look around and the drone's camera is going to look around and match your movements.
That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty BA. I can't say the word because we are a family-friendly
Bad
show.
apple?
Yes. How did you know that, Rob?
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, there are a lot of other features as well. They have dynamic home points, which, as you guys know, was added into the DJI Go app about last year. You can manually set home points, which is cool. And you also have manual channel selection. Beyond the 8 channels that you would have with the DJI Go app, this is for if you've got a lot of RF noise in the area, you've got a full 32 channels that you can pick from, which is actually quite handy. Now, Rob, you have been looking into the user response from Litchi, right?
Yeah, and I would say that a good 85-90%, if not higher than that, is really, really positive.
What are they saying?
Well, they're saying they love the features. They love the autonomous features that it offers. The one thing that is pretty consistent no-go is the camera setting or the camera controls.
Gotcha.
And that the DJI Go app is much better for the purposes of controlling the camera.
Interesting.
Something to be aware of.
But we can do things with the Litchi app like what 3DR calls the cable cam. But we can also draw, just like the Phantom 4, we can draw a square around someone. And not only will Litchi make your Phantom 3 follow that, but you'll also get framing as well, which is
Right.
something that the Phantom 4 is touting in its ability to do. So the Phantom 4 says, hey, you can draw squares on people, the drone will follow them, and it'll frame, which is something, you know, a lot of other drones don't do. Well, with Litchi, your Phantom 3 can do the same thing, which I think is really cool. So,
Absolutely. And so I assume it's available for most DJI drones at this point?
That's a good question. You know what? I didn't look that up because I was focused more so on the Phantom 3, but I would imagine that you could use it on the Inspire as well.
You can, and I'm not sure of all the versions that you can use it on, but I would assume if you can use it on one, you can use it on all of them.
Anyone that would use the Lightbridge. So if we're using Lightbridge on the Phantom 3, the Phantom 3 Advanced, you would not get this on the Phantom 3 Standard. So
Yeah, in fact, somebody was asking for that.
Well, here's another thing too, right? We've talked about waypoints a lot, and the waypoint limitations through the Go app have always been limited. With Litchi, you can set unlimited waypoints, and you can also, what's really cool is while you're doing the waypoints, you can click where you want the camera to focus. So imagine if you're getting this cinematic motion in where you can actually rack the focus, which I don't understand how that would really work knowing the camera, but that you could actually focus on a certain point, rack it, boom, move on.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, I've seen some demonstrations of the autonomous features in this. Can you get a bunch of different autonomous shots with your drone to do real estate? Because I know that was one of the questions here that he had mentioned was, you know, can we really use this for getting shots or smoother shots? I think you can get smoother shots, but I don't think that you're going to systematically get smooth shot after smooth shot. Well, you could, but you're going to have to take these shots down to say 5 to 10 seconds and then clip them all together. Because if you're expecting to get these really long cinematic smooth movements, I think you're going to find it more difficult to actually get like the perfect kind of proportional movement. You know, if you're flying high over a subject, say I'm filming your phone and I want to de-elevate and rotate the camera up like I did in the SUP ATX video, you know, that's something that would be very interesting to try with Litchi.
Right.
But if we were to take that to another level where our camera is focused down, we move down, we tilt the camera up, and then we move out and tilt the camera back down. That's a new cinematic move I've been seeing a lot lately. I don't think the Litchi would be able to really do that.
So as a layman, I'll just call myself that, why would you want to do that autonomously instead of just doing it manually through attitude mode and getting the shot that you know you can get manually?
Well, I think it's user's experience. I think it's user confidence as well, because a lot of people don't have the time. They haven't been formally trained how to use these things. You know, one of the simplest things that I've seen people who come to me for training is that they'll make a movement and let go of the stick. It's like they move and let go, move and let go. It's like you can't do that.
So that's
there has to be constant pressure.
Yeah, so that's actually why I'm asking. I mean, I thought that would be your answer because it seems like rather than being so focused on getting this app to do what people want it to do, they should be working on their capabilities.
It's true.
Right? To get the kind of shot. If cinematography is their goal, that's what I would think, because they need to practice more.
Absolutely.
Instead of relying on the app for those kinds of
and
things.
I think,
correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
though.
I think you're totally right, because also if you're wanting to take your business to fully successful, meaning you're not just shooting, real estate, you want to move into commercial productions, music videos, product videos, commercials for TV, that sort of thing.
Right.
You've got to have the time on the sticks. You've got to have that smooth, fluid, buttery smooth motion that people want. In fact, we just had someone in our Drone U community, a Drone U member, who wrote and posted in the community, the private community, hey, I just got this email from someone. They hired a 333 operator, and look what they sent me. And they're like, hey, hello, my name is blank. We just hired a drone operator. I think this was from Adam Huntington. We just hired a drone operator. The movements were not smooth. We're really looking for someone to come back and get us nice, long, slow, smooth pans and tilts of the property. We don't want to feel like we're on a roller coaster while we're watching this property about a film.
A rough roller coaster at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just goes to show that, skill is going to trump anything no matter what.
Yeah, you're not going to show up to a job, be it a set or even just a nice real estate job, and set your autonomous mode.
Hey, let's block this shot of the car going down the street, and let's can we practice blocking that shot with the autonomous feature, please? We're going to be like, okay, actors, go.
Right. Exactly.
We're ready now.
Anyways, and my point is not to degrade the app or the benefits of it, but also to focus on the skill that you want to develop as opposed to relying on an app.
Yes, that is exactly correct. So the short and the long of it, can you really get the features of the Phantom 4 on the Phantom 3? To an extent, yes, you can. You can get the follow and the framing action that you see.
Which is cool.
But you're not going to have the obstacle avoidance. So the downfall is, you see these videos of the Phantom 4 kind of elevating over a building as it's moving towards the building.
Right.
You wouldn't get that with Litchi. But again, we don't know at what speed your obstacle avoidance is going to work, which is a limitation. Litchi does have many other features, such as the multiple waypoints, but also on top of the waypoints, you can tell the camera where to move. I think that's a huge benefit over the DJI Go app right now.
Right.
One of the things though that I want to know, and I don't think we have the answer to, the Phantom 4 claims 120 FPS. Are we going to get that on the Phantom 3? Because I thought we already had that the other day, and I was going to do slow-mo, and it wasn't coming up, and I was kind of disappointed.
Bummer.
Because it's on the Osmo, so it's like, maybe I should just stick my Osmo on the Inspire, go fly around.
Duct tape?
Yeah, right. I know that's actually not good for the Osmo camera, so, but you can take your Inspire 1 camera and put it on the Osmo, which is interesting. So also, the other thing I want to mention here, we talked about following speeds, the Follow Me. The top speed for Follow Me through Litchi is 34 miles an hour or 15 meters per second.
Pretty fast.
That's very fast.
Yeah.
So
certainly a bike or obviously a runner or anything like that, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's very true.
Cool.
Very
I don't know about a motorcycle. Depends. Depends on what you're doing on the motorcycle.
Very interesting.
Cool.
So, guys, remember, stay tuned. We've got a lot of cool speakers coming up on the podcast this week, this weekend, and next week. Eric Chang, Vic Moss, John Rupert. It's going to be action-packed with stuff you need to know when it comes to legislation, what's going on in the drone community and the drone industry itself. And I am just trying to get to see all these Facebook comments. There's a lot of stuff. Vertical Studio app on Facebook. It works on the P3. Look at that. There's more apps here that people are mentioning. So it looks like there are more alternatives and options. But the long and the short of it, can you get the same features as the Phantom 4 without obstacle avoidance on your Phantom 3? And the answer is...
Appears to be yes.
Yes, you can.
Appears
it's going
to
to cost
be
you
yes.
a little bit. The other thing I want to mention about Litchi before you jump right in is that there are added costs.
Right.
So it's not just $15.99.
It's not horribly expensive, but just know that if you pay that initial $15, it appears that and again, we've not actually used Litchi, right? So
that is right.
It appears that there's going to be some add-ons if you want to buy some of the additional features, probably like frame and follow and some of that stuff.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you again for listening. Greatly appreciate the support from everyone in the community. Thank you to everyone who's coming on the podcast. Really, this community has grown so much, and thank you for all the messages, people from people who are warning me about other people, and it's just it's interesting. It's fun. Guys, thank you again for your support. We really do greatly appreciate it. Do us a favor. Tell your friend about the podcast. Share the podcast or give us a review. We would greatly appreciate it. You can also subscribe on iTunes. And if you have a question, go to AskDroneU.com and upload it for us so we can answer it. Rob, there's one more thing you wanted to tell everyone, right? About we're almost to the 300 episode.
Oh, that's right.
Episode 300, excuse me.
Thank you for reminding me. Some of you might remember that we are doing a contest. It's been a while since we actually mentioned it, but I think we started this at about podcast 210, 215, somewhere in that range, and we said every question that gets on the podcast between that time and 300, which we're only 5 podcasts away from, is going to go into a pool, and we're going to draw a winner, and we're going to give away a free membership to Drone U for 1 year. So excited to be doing that in the next few days.
That's worth a lot.
Yeah, it's worth, I don't know, $1,000 or something.
So we're going to go live on Facebook and give away some free stuff.
Very cool.
That's what we like to do.
Yeah,
right?
so we'll do that next week.
All right, guys. Well, you know where to go. Facebook.com/DroneU. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Drone U.
We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone Youth.